Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Koholoyumla, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us His beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M. That's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yahanan, just coming at you with another quick lesson, and praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this is an article in Complex with Raven-Symoné back in 2014 when she said, I'm not an African American. There's a difference between being black and African. So she's confused as hell all the way through, and double confused, you know what I'm saying? As far as the, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but the point that I wanted to get, let's just play the video. And this is for educational purposes only. It's on YouTube. And this is when she was on the So let's just play it real quick, and we'll grab some scripture real fast.
A lot of people on the internet thought I said that I wasn't black, and I.
Okay, so now Salakia. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so, and you can clearly see that she's not black. Black is a color. That's a social construct. Black is not a nationality. Black is not an ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let's see something real fast. I just want to put in. Okay, so they have very well mind race versus ethnicity. Let's see what they have to say here. Differences between race versus ethnicity. How the U.S. Census Bureau identifies ethnicity and race. Okay. Race and ethnicity are used to categorize sections of the population. Race refers to dividing people into groups, often based on physical characteristics. Ethnicity refers to the cultural expression and identification of people of different geographic regions, including their customs, history, language, and religion. See? And that's a pretty good definition of it. It says, in basic terms, race describes physical traits, and ethnicity refers to cultural identification. And that's really what it should be. You know what I'm saying? Your ethnicity. Who do you stem from? Your family line. And we know that the seed goes through the father according to Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. That you are what your father is. And the Lord created 18 nations, and you come from one of those nations, and we all have a biblical nationality. There's no such thing as black people. You can clearly see she's a shade away from being damn near also, a shade away from being a so-called white person. And we say so-called because they're not white. No such thing as white people. They're actually pinkish to reddish in color, if you want to get into colors. And, there's no such thing as black people. We're just different shades of brown. But that's a social construct. You see? So we pretty much got enough on that. Let's go back, though. Let's see something else, because I do want to play the rest of this video. So, yeah, race is a social construct, scientists argue. See? This person, it says he spoke out against the idea of white and black as discrete groups, claiming that these distinctions ignored the scope of human diversity. Okay, but these are social constructs that goes back to the 1680s. I think it was 1681, around that time when they the so-called white people came up with these terms. But colors are not ethnicities. That's the point that I wanted to make. Okay, so now let's play the rest of what she's saying here. Because clearly this chick that's sitting next to her, she has on a black shirt. She is not that color of that shirt, man. Which shows you just how uneducated our people really is. And just in general, we're not Africans and Americans. You can't be two continents named after two different white men. Because Africa is named after a so-called white man, and America is named after a so-called white man. And to say you're African American is to say that you descend from two different white men, and that's just not possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and we wouldn't be able to call it. Now, we are Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are Israelites. And there was a time period where, you know, we ran into Africa and a lot of different regions of Africa, you know, which Africa was not always called Africa. You know, it was actually called Ham or Ham, you know. But we ran into parts of Africa during, you know, the time that the Romans sieged, you know what I'm saying, Jerusalem in 70 AD. So we ran into Africa, or what's being called Africa today, because it wasn't called that, you know, back then. But to say that you're African and American, I mean, you know, you can't be two continents, man. And America has not always been called America. You know what I'm saying? Which this is Babylon the Great. So we're not Africans, and we're for damn sure not Americans. And if they had not brought us here on those slave boats, kidnapped us, you wouldn't be here to call yourself an American. So, and it's really very simple. But let's play some more. Let's see.
A lot of people on the internet thought I said that I wasn't black. And I never said that.
Difference.
There's a difference between being black and African. I identify as straight American. I'm an American, not an African American. We are here for a splash of tea.
It's a little extra splash of tea. That's what this is.
I just need
That's
a little
what you're
extra
watching.
tea, and she gets.
Okay, I don't even want to go all off into that. But the point that I wanted to get in this is that, you know, she's calling herself an American. But, and she could be a damn terror. Ain't no telling what she really is, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, there are different shades of brown people, man. That's all that it is. We're not blacks, we're not Africans, and we're not Americans. We are Israelites. We come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. He had 12 sons, and we all come from one of those 12 sons. It's really very simple. We're not no damn Africans or Americans. So, you know, I just wanted to just point that out, you know, because back to the basics, been doing a lot of back to the basics videos and lessons, man, you know, and a lot of our people, they don't know this. They don't understand that those black and white are social constructs, which I should have went a little further into it. Because they may, let's see here, they should have exactly, if I'm not mistaken, it was in the 1600s when they, let me see. You can't be a color out of a crayon box, man. Let me see. See, here we go right here. That's why the scriptures talks about studying and showing thyself approved. We have to look into things, man. It says the term race, used infrequently before the 1500s, was used to identify groups of people with a kinship or group connection. The modern day use of the term race is a human invention. See that? It's a human invention by the so-called white man. It says race is a human invented shorthand term used to describe and categorize people into various social groups based on characteristics like skin color, physical features, genetic heredity. Race, while not valid biological concept, is a real social construction that gives or denies benefits and privileges. American society developed the notion of race early in its formation to justify its new economic system of capitalism, which depended on the institution of forced labor, especially the enslavement of African peoples. See, there they go with that African shit. But a lot of those signs, you know, they were saying Negroes for sale, you know. And they knew that we were Hebrew Israelites, man. Don't think that these people don't know who they were buying and selling, you know. We're not Africans, man. You're going to always bring that out. That's just like with this guy, President Putin over there in Russia. Everybody is all up in arms about him, you know, showing the biblical pictures of the so-called, so-called Jesus and all this other stuff. And they're showing that these are so-called black people. That goes back to this very time period. The 1400s, the 1300s, 1200s, 1500s. Those Russian icons of so-called black people. You see what I'm saying? But even, you know, they would still say African. knowing clearly well that we are different from African people. Matter of fact, let me see. Well, let's see if we got to get a little more to more accurately understand how race is counterpart. Racism are woven into the very fabric of American society. We must explore the history of how race, white privilege, and anti-blackness came to be. Okay, the invention of race. Let's just get this part. The concept of race, as we understand it today, evolved alongside the formation of the United States and was deeply connected with the evolution of two other terms, white and slave. The words race, white, and slave were all used by Europeans in the 1500s, and they brought these words with them to North America. However, the words did not have the meaning that they have today. Instead, the needs of developing American society would transform those words' meaning into new ideas. The term race, used infrequently before the 1500s, was used to identify groups of people with a kinship or group connection. The modern day use of the term race, identifying groups of people by physical traits, appearance, or characteristics, is human invention during the 17th century. It's a human invention during the 17th century. European Enlightenment philosopher based their ideas on the importance of secular reasoning, rationality, and scientific study as opposed to faith-based religious understandings of the world. Okay, so, you get the point there. But let's get this too, though. Now that I think about it,
According to Wikipedia, since the 17th century, a number of suggestions have been made that relate the name Ham to a Hebrew word for burnt, black, or hot, to the Egyptian word Ham for servant, or the word Ham for majesty, or the Egyptian word KMT for Egypt.
Okay, so that's not what I wanted, but that's okay too. I wanted to get Ham as far as because the matter of fact.
Flights from Detroit to Ham.
Oh my goodness gracious. Let me just type it in. Slovakia. Yep, ain't even had to put it all in. See, this is the type of stuff that they don't want you to know right here. It says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. See? So we're not Africans, man. We come from H.I.M. And this is the Bible dictionary. The Zondervan's Bible dictionary. See? And a lot of this stuff, you know, they be trying to phase it out, or they be trying stuff offline, because a lot of Hebrew Israelites are waking up and finding out what their true identity is. But they can't stop it, man. They can't stop what the Lord is moving in this planet, man, right now. It's just time. It's time for us to wake up. And Esau trying to rock us back to sleep, but it's not going to work. It's not in the Lord's plan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just is what it is. It's time for us to awake, and the Lord is awakening the children of Israel, the elect of Israel. And it's really very simple. And see, stuff like this right here, these are great talking points right here to bring out, a lot of these points. That we are not Africans, that we are not Hamites, we are Shemites. We come from H.I.M, which Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The so-called white man, he comes from H.I.M as well. He's Shemitic. See, they say Semitic. It's actually Shemitic. There's a lot of nations that come out of H.I.M. I think H.I.M, let me see. Let's see here. Oh, Slovakia, I ain't even mean to do that. We're pretty much done with that, though. I ain't even say damn Sam. I said H.I.M. Like I said again, see, they get a little slick with a lot of this stuff. Let me just type it in. I mean, actually, we could have just went into the scriptures and got it, though. Let's go into the scripts real quick. Yeah, Esau be trying to get slick out here, man. He done changed the name up to Sim and not Shem. Let me see here. Let me see if they... Let's start right here in chapter 10. The descendants of Shem, right? I'm going to read it in the NLT. Let's see how it reads in the New Living Translation. Sons were also born to Shem, the older brother of Japheth. Shem was the ancestor of all the descendants of Eber. The descendants of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Aphaxad, Lud, and Aram. See? So he had 5 sons. See? And all those sons, they are Shemitic people. That goes for Elam, the so-called West Indians, the so-called white man. He's from, what I'm saying, from Shem, so. But them to say anti-Semitic, that's why, when Kyrie Irving was saying that, and also Kanye, he was like, well, how can I be anti-Shemitic when I am Shem? I'm from Shem as well. See, they don't delve off into the fact that Shem had more than one race. He had more than one son. This is actually scriptural. Don't they go by the Torah? Don't they go by the first 5 books of the scriptures? So if they really stuck to the first 5 books of the scriptures, they would have to admit that Shem had more than just one son. And all his sons are considered to be Shemitic. So for them to be saying, and they know that we're Shemitic, man. They know that we're not Hamites. Trust and believe. These people, they know. But to blind us and to keep it, and it's all about the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, because we would they are abilities. We're speaking Hebrew to the best of our ability, and by faith, we believe that the true names of the Father is Yahweh and Yahushai. True name of the Father is Yahweh, which means he exists, or the existing one. And the true name of his son, our Savior, is Yahushai. We know that, we know for a fact that his name, because the letter J wasn't around at the time that he walked the earth. Right? There's plenty of scriptures to back all this up. So, and by faith, we believe, man. But see, Esau, he wants to, put us back to sleep. That's why they'll keep pushing shit like you. See, they don't mind you calling yourself, an Israelite, if you're calling on shit like Yeshua and all these different names like that, but what they don't want you to do is to know that you're an Yahweh and Yahushai. So there's a lot of tactics that Esau is using out here these days, man. And like I said again, I remember this back in the day. It was a real big uproar back then. This was like 10 years ago. When everybody was like, the so-called black people, especially the so-called black woman. How dare you? You're not black. Well, she's really not black, man. I mean, look at her. You see? This is not the color black. You see what I'm saying? So Esau, man, he been getting over for a long time with those social constructs. But also, what does the scripture say as well? I could probably end out here. Let's get this one. Because this is one of the curses that would be upon our people. That we will be called, let me just put this in. We will be called bywords. We wouldn't be called by our natural name. Yep, this is one of the curses, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. See, they calling you blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Jamaicans, Haitians, Latinos, Dominicans, all these different names. Those are bywords. Matter of fact, let's go into it. They're not calling us Israelites. How the hell are you black? Get the hell out of here. You can't fly to black. You can't get a bus ticket, a train ticket to black. You see? Now you can get a train ticket. I mean, well, not a train ticket, but a flight ticket to Africa, the continent. But where are you going in there? There's 54 countries in Africa. So how are they calling you after 54 countries? And then to just add in America, that would be 55 countries that you're just 55 countries. There's no destination called black. Like, come on, man. Let's you know, you had to think, man. Esau is a cunning hunter. Get this word, proverb. It's Masal, H4912. Proverb, parable, proverb, proverbial saying. Aphorism, I think that might be it. Let's see here. Let's define that for pronouncing that right. Yep, a pithy observation that contains a general truth, such as, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not sure if that's the... Unless they got another meaning for it. Let's go off into it. It's apparently from H4910. In some original sense of superiority in mental action, properly a pithy maxim, usually a metaphorical nature, hence a simile as an adage, poem, discourse, byword, like parable. Okay, let's get this one. Let's see what it says. To rule, have dominion. But let's just, let's see though. Let's go back. I wanted to just, let's see though. Let's do a Google search on the word by word. Oh, Salakia. Yeah, man, got to go off into some of this stuff, man, because Esau been getting down on us for a long time, man. A person or thing cited as a notorious and outstanding example or embodiment of something. Let me see. Okay, not giving a really good definition, but I mean, but hey, but that's what that's going off into. Let's because it says again, it says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment." A proverb. Matter of fact, let's read it in the NLT. Gives it a little bit clearer. You will become an object of horror, ridicule, and mockery among all the nations which the Lord sends you. And that's exactly what that is, man. We are, I mean, when you really think about it, we are an object of horror when it comes to a nation of people. Look at our people, man. We're through here. We're through. I'm talking about through. Look at our, especially this newer generation. Through. Ooh. Ridicule, right? And mockery. We're constantly being mocked. You know? They all they think that we can do is entertain, you know, and that's all that they want out of us. You know, if any good ideas, you know, and our people done came up with so many ideas that have been stolen and patented by the so-called white man. Like, it's ridiculous, man. America wouldn't be America if it wasn't for the stuff that a lot of our people came up with. But they look at us, you know, as if we can only sing, dance, dunk a basketball, throw a football, you know, some shit like that. They only want us to entertain. They don't want us to have no type of sensible thinking, because you wouldn't be a good slave to them if you wasn't. You know, they just, you know, kill the mind but strengthen the body, so to speak, because they wanted big cocky ass slaves, you know, to do that field work and all that other stuff like that. But they didn't want them big ass niggas to be thinking like, okay, we'll whoop your ass. Let's break down the mind. That's where you get to, you know, a lot of that movie Get Out. That was a spiritual movie. That Get Out movie. Because Esau, the scriptures talks about how he's the one would be stronger than, let me see if I can get that. One would be stronger than the other. I don't want to butcher it. So let's Genesis 25. And that's what the mindset that the so-called white man had in that movie was, that he knows that he doesn't have the strength that we have, but he feels as if he's smarter than us. So he's basically like my brains with that body, so to speak, or my brains with that, with those muscles or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And this is let me see. Here we go right here. And this is when our foremother, Rebecca, the children were struggling within her. So it's always been a fight between the so-called blacks and the so-called whites, Esau and Jacob. This is what this whole thing that's going on in the earth is all about, right? Genesis 25 and 22, it says, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Let's read that in the NLT. Let's read it in the New Living Translation. But the two children struggled with each other in her womb. So she went to ask the Lord about it. Why is this happening to me? She asked. And the Lord told her, the sons in your womb will become two nations. From the very beginning, the two nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son. And that's what's coming in the future. That second Esdras 6 and 9, it goes off into, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So in the new kingdom, we're going to be on top. It's going to be a role reversal. But the point that I wanted to make is that we're stronger than them spiritually, physically, emotionally. We have a real spiritual, because see, our people are very spiritual people. It's just not according to knowledge, like the scripture says. The scriptures talks about how we have a zeal for Yahweh, but not according to knowledge as a people. You know what I'm saying? So we should be thankful that the Lord has awakened us, to know this real foolproof truth, man. Be thankful to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh that he awoke you if you're into this truth, man, because, there's billions of people on the planet, man. There's a whole lot of Israelites that's not going to get this. 2/3 are going to be destroyed. You see what I'm saying? So our nation of people is stronger, but we're gonna go into rulership soon, man. And so again, he wants to keep pushing this narrative of black and African American. He wants you to think that you're a damn Muslim or you're in the Israel, all these different things. He doesn't want you to come to the fact of knowing that you are a Hebrew Israelite, because this truth is growing rapidly, man. It's growing rapidly, and he can't stop it. He's losing his damn mind right now trying to stop this truth, man. But he's not going to be able to stop it. There's nothing that he's going to be able to do to stop it. It's his time. He done ruled his time period, and it's almost up. And he's never going to get to rule again. And they're fighting to stay in power, but it's not going to work. It's just that simple. So I just wanted to just use this particular article, to go off into this, Raven-Symoné, man, she I call them wasted cuties, man. That's like that one lady, what's her name, that be doing the White House speaking. I can't think of her title or whatever. Jean Pierre, whatever her name is, the cute little chocolate. Them cute little chocolates. Real pretty lady, man, but waste of cutie. Waste of cutie, man, living that lifestyle, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and if they don't repent, you see, Esau, he wants our people to just be into all kinds of bullshit, because he's trying to take as many of us with him as he can. Because he's basically like, hey, if I can't have it, no one can. So we getting to a point of this thing being all over with, man. We can see it by the Spirit. You can just see it, so much stuff that's happening that's bringing out this truth is just going so hard, man. We got him against the ropes right now. We got to keep, uppercutting his ass, man. Body blows, hooks. Got him on the ropes, man. The referee is coming in to wave this motherfucker out, man. Knocking his ass through the ropes, man. He was catching that what's that Martin the Martin episode where he got beat up by Tommy Hearns. Motherfucker head looked like a damn truck on his neck. We had that boy lumped up. We got him against the ropes right now, man. So keep on praying to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for the downfall of Esau Edom's kingdom, man. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwam Yashalom.